Welcome to this special edition of Panther Spotlight. This is Todd Bell. Well, back on Monday, May the 6th, Jeff Blair, Athletic Director at Dominican University, introduced the 13th head basketball coach here at ODU, Dan Evans. And we welcome Dan to our Panther Spotlight and to Dominican University as you are the new head basketball coach. First time head basketball coach. Has it sunk in now? We're a little over a week since the announcement.
Absolutely. It's really been a tremendous experience for myself and my family. Lot of work to do, of course, but really appreciative of the chance we have and feel like it's an outstanding institution to work for, to represent.
It comes to us from the conference itself, as you were an assistant coach at Hillsdale, so you're very familiar with the GLIAC after spending, 6 years at Hillsdale?
Yep, absolutely, and I think that's going to give me, make the transition to being a head coach a little bit easier, just knowing the league so well. So certainly there's a lot of things to adjust to, but the competition will not be one.
One of the things too with Dan being at Hillsdale, that was one of the top programs. You had great battles with Findlay, is also one of the top programs. Wayne State, Ashland has been in there. It has been kind of a new look to the conference that you guys got a chance to see at Hillsdale last year with the additions of Walsh, Malone, and then Dominican Lake Erie coming in. What's been the thought process around the league, just of all the new transition into the conference?
Yeah, well, the South certainly gained a couple of really good programs last year. Malone and Walsh are very talented and very well coached groups. So it certainly didn't do any of the Southern Division teams any favors by adding them. But I really feel lucky to have the quality of competition we have in both divisions. I feel like it's one of the premier leagues in the country.
Let's talk about your background, where you came from. You're a Chicago kid. You played at Lawrence University Division III. Talk about your playing days in college, because you were a 3-year starter and letter winner.
Yeah, I had a tremendous experience as a collegiate athlete. Division III obviously is a little bit different than the level I coach at, but the relationships that I was able to develop, and Coach Stark did an outstanding job running that program as well. So we were lucky enough to be really good. We walked in and weren't the best program in the league, falling on a little bit of hard times. But my class, the class above me, and the class below me really did some amazing things with a couple of conference titles, and tournament titles, and NCAA tournament appearances. So I certainly wouldn't have traded that experience for the world. I love to win. It's the most important thing to me. But doing it the right way is as important. So at Lawrence, we were able to do that.
Yeah. And you mentioned John Tharp. He was your head coach there. And obviously you coached with him at Hillsdale. Talk about that transition from being a player to real life, deciding real life wasn't for you, and that coaching was going to be the better avenue for you.
It was interesting. I think, everyone go to school and try to prepare for life after college. And we all make choices and make decisions of what we think is best. And I was lucky enough to have made the wrong choice and to be able to adjust it and alternate my career path. And I feel really blessed to be able to do that. To do it with Coach Tharp was and has been an amazing thing.
At what point did you think to yourself in your time in coaching with Coach Tharp at Hillsdale, you wanted to be a head coach?
Pretty early on, actually. I was sort of thrust into the fire early in my first year there. And it was probably not long into the second year that we were at Hillsdale that I felt like this is what I wanted to do forever. Having seen him work, and he is a tremendously talented individual, having seen him work and experience that and see the success we were able to have, both as a player and then as a coach, it just sort of stoked those flames for me. Really felt lucky to have had the experience.
Coach Tharp, in his comments about you getting the job here, called you a great teacher and great motivator. Where did those come from?
My focus is pretty narrow. And what I mean by that is I want what's best for our kids. And oftentimes when student athletes see that, when they see that you care about all aspects of their lives, they're motivated to work harder in every aspect. Oftentimes when you get a little bit bogged down and specifically trying to be better at basketball itself and not necessarily worried about the academics or worried about who they are as people, I think kids see through that and they feel that kind of one-sidedness. Here, just like we did at Hillsdale, we will be focused on the whole. And I think when kids see that, they all want to be pushed, they all want to be better. And when they see that you care about not just how many points they're scoring or rebounds they're getting. When they see the whole, they work hard, and they have a much more desirable for success.
Talked about Hillsdale a little bit, being on their campus, being on Ohio Dominican's campus. They're very similar schools, small in student body. The only major difference would be Ohio Dominican in a big city in Columbus, where Hillsdale is kind of by itself in Michigan. Do you see a lot of similarities in the two schools?
Certainly. I mean, I believe in the private school education, especially at the collegiate level. Having attended one, having coached at one, and now coaching at another, I really believe that individual education, that individual attention that our students get is a huge benefit. Obviously, Columbus is a lot different environment than Hillsdale, Michigan, but it's certainly a very exciting opportunity, and the school has been incredibly supportive already.
You look at Hillsdale's program and the way yourself, with Coach Tharp's leadership, built that program. It was building blocks that you had to start out with there. Some of the similarities here as well. Program that needs a boost right now after struggling coming into the GLIAC the last couple of years. The players that Hillsdale recruited, are those the similar type players that you're looking to recruit here at Ohio?
Yes, in the sense that we want the best student athletes we can find, ideally high school players, but we'll consider all transfer students. Our players need to be good people. They need to have the right foundations and have the right intangibles. They need to be students that want to succeed in the classroom. Everybody has a different ceiling for what that means, but we want them to make sure that they're working hard and want to be great there as well as on the basketball court. So in all those senses, yeah, they will be the same type of kids.
And with that said, you've already hit the ground running. You're 8 days into the job.
Yep.
And I know you've already been out there on that recruiting trail. What's it been like just making the contacts, making the phone calls, and reaching out to people right now?
Well, it's been good. I mean, we're lucky enough to have a fair amount of returners, and so we can be aggressive, but also don't need to fill tons of holes in terms of having bodies. And so I've begun the process of evaluating and making some decisions about who we think best fits our program going forward. And certainly those decisions are happening hourly.
And the other thing too, being at Hillsdale, playing Ohio Dominican twice a year, obviously you have a pretty decent idea already in scouting and things of that nature of what is already here. And you mentioned only 2 players graduating from last year, so you've got it pretty full covered right now.
Yeah, we have some young guys as well. We have some seniors. We have some guys that are going to be sophomores but have had a little bit of experience, and so there'll be changes in the way we play and some different things, and so they'll have to adjust. But at least we have players. We have guys that can go out there and compete. And from everything I know to this point, we seem like we have good kids as well.
And I would think too, even though maybe the record hasn't shown it here at Ohio Dominican in the last couple of years, there have certainly been some great nights of basketball here, including against Hillsdale just this past year. Twice Hillsdale has come in here. A couple of years ago, nationally ranked, undefeated, and Ohio Dominican gave the Chargers everything they could handle. This year had a lead over Hillsdale in the second half of the 20-win season this year. So you know that it's really not that far to get to the top half of this conference right now.
Our league is incredibly talented, but it's a fine line. I mean, it's a fine line from being at near the top and at the bottom. And so when you can clean more things up and have a more established identity, if we can do those things early on, it will give us a big leg up in trying to improve. I will not kid anybody. It's still a long road, and there's a lot of things that we have to accomplish and a variety of things that we need to do better. But the line is pretty fine for everybody. So if we can get to the right side of it, we'll be in good shape.
Well, Coach, thanks for the opportunity to sit down and have a chat with us and kind of let the Ohio Dominican community in a little bit on what's going on here with our basketball program. And certainly everybody's excited for your addition here to the university.
Absolutely. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
All right, that's head basketball coach Dan Evans. It's been a great spring here at Ohio Dominican University. Make sure you visit the website, OhioDominicanPanthers.com. Get recaps of everything that's gone on here in the spring. Thanks for being with us on this special edition of Panther Spotlight. This is Todd Bell reminding you it's always a great day to be a Panther.